All right, so let's go and add some vertex colors to our track. What I want to do is I want to have the road to be a little bit darker on the outside of the track, and as it gets into the middle of the track, it starts to get a little bit brighter. Okay, so let's take a look at how to do that inside of Houdini. Okay, so let's get working on our vertex colors. So the first thing I know I'm going to need to do is I need to go and add some more geometry to the inside. So we either need to subdivide this or we need to add some more points to this point right here. I think what I'm going to do is just subdivide this. So let's go and add a subdivide node right here. And I'm going to drop that down and let's take a look at the results. That's not too shabby. All right, put it up to a next level of depth there. Really what I'm looking for are just more rows. So maybe doing it in this particular node up here with the line node. Because what we can do is we can add more points to this. All right, so I can go add more points here. But we're going to have to update these guys over here. Because if we come into the add node now, you can see all that doesn't really work out for me. But we have enough points to work on our vertex colors here. Okay, so that's exactly what I'm looking for, is to do that. And then we'll fix up the lines over here for the sidelines. So let's get rid of that subdivide node. Cool. And there we go. So we have our color down here. So let's turn on our color node. So currently we have just one color. And what I want to do is I want to have these outside areas a little bit darker than the inside. So to do that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop down a group node. Okay. So with this group node, it allows me to group geometry. All right. And then with that group, what we're going to do is we're going to assign a specific vertex color. Okay, so in this case, what I want to do is I want to get all the border edges. And this is really easy because what we can do is we can put this 2 points, all right, and what we'll do is we'll say include by edges, and then say unshared edges. And what that does is it gives us all the points that are unshared, which is the borders. This is really cool because now what we can do is add some vertex color. Let's drop down a color node. Okay, so let's do color. And let's add to group 1. Let's actually name this. We'll call this borders. Like so. And for this group, let's assign a darker color. So I'm going to assign like a really dark color, like a black, something like that. Now it's really hard to see. All right. So what we can do is we can actually blur our color. So I'm going to drop down an attribute blur here, like so. And I'm going to blur the color, so CD for color. There we go. So now you can see the edges are a little bit darker, and if I increase my blurring iterations, you can see that it's affecting it. Very cool. All right, that's really all I wanted to do. It's kind of like a really subtle tint on the outside. All right, so I want to show you guys how that works. Okay, so now what I need to do, I'm going to feed that into the out track area. Okay, and what I need to do now is I need to fix up this guy right here. Okay, because currently we have a bunch of geometry. So if I take a look at the geometry, I need to get rid of all of this inside point. So a really good way to do this really is to just create 2 versions of here, of these guys right here. So I'm going to copy these 2 nodes. And this particular node, this sweep right here, is just going to be responsible for creating a different width line. All right. Okay, so what I'm going to do is actually work on the width line here, and I'm going to drop down a resample node. And instead of doing the resampling right here, I'm going to keep this at 2 points. Okay, that works great for me. Let's just make sure that that is exactly the way I want it, and it looks like it. Great. And then I'm going to resample it. So this time I'm going to use maximum segments and not the segment length. So in this case, before I had it at 6. And so now I have one line that's controlling this guy and this guy. But this particular sweep node is going to be responsible for creating the actual track geometry. And this width line is going to be responsible for creating the actual lines that get created for the sidelines. So let's do that. So hopefully that made sense. Let me know if you have any questions or got confused or anything like that. It takes a bit to get used to, thinking procedurally and stuff like that. So don't worry about asking me questions. There are no stupid questions when it comes to this stuff. Okay? Cool. So now we basically should have our sidelines back. Yep. Very nice. Very, very nice. And our final track, complete with UVs and everything, and vertex colors. Awesome. So the last thing I really want to do is just promote some parameters to our HDA. So what I'm going to do is open up my type properties right here. Very cool. And let's put in a separator line. This is all track stuff. I want to promote some of this sideline stuff. So we're going to drag that in there. I'm going to call this the sideline width. So sideline width, like so. And let's set our value to something really small, like 0.01, and we'll say 1 for the max. Probably won't ever need a 3-foot sideline, but you never know. But that is good there, so that's a great default. Okay, so then we also want to do the offset. So I'm just going to drag and drop this. So we're going to call this the sideline offset. And sideline offset. Cool, and that needs to be between 0 and 1. So that's perfect. Okay, we'll hit apply. And then let's promote the color. Well, that's pretty much it. All right, we'll call this sideline color. Like so. Cool. Hit apply and accept. And there we have it. I'm going to hit U on the keyboard to jump up and out. Look at that. We just built a more complicated HDA. So now we have a road cone generator. There we go. And we have a basic track creator. So we're on our way. All right, we're going to go through how to create more advanced tracks. I'm really trying to build up the skills here over the length of the entire course, okay? So let's go and test this out in Unity and Unreal and then close out the section. Thanks so much.